to the no, no, no. Hell no. Oh my God. I ain't never laughed so hard. No. Whose bright idea was it to let that teenager go to the Met Gala? Whose idea? Anyway, I don't know how true it is, but I heard Beyonce and her baby is banned. They banned from the damn place because Blue Ivy then got up there and showed off. Now, what do teenagers do? Who forgot the program? Because I'm going to tell you something. They should have had Mama Tina there. Because most teenagers are in a very rebellious stage when they get like, 14 to 17 or 18. Well, at 18 they grown. So I would say from 14 to about 17, it's a madhouse. Because they don't want to listen. They think they know everything. And they like, how dare you tell me what to fucking do? And somebody said, don't you know that Blue Ivy run that house? Well, I found out watching that Met Gala, and I'm glad that she showed her ass off. But I'm very disappointed though. All jokes aside, I want y'all to know, we don't need everybody, but once we knock down this decadent veil, as Tone talk about all the time, until we break that down politically, we're not in commune with each other. That means we've taken on all the mores of our slave masters. Because see, we used to be a communal people. Like Iyanla Vanzant said, the men folk will go out and hunt a cow or whatever it was, a boar, and bring it back. And the women in the village will cook it. Okay, it was just the way it went. Now, it don't matter if them was your first homosexual men. I ain't even talking about that type of stuff right now. What I'm talking about is there was a program and there was a protocol. So what happened is when they went out and they came back and they hunted, they brought back enough food for everybody. Okay? We've lost that in America. We don't look out for each other. We don't give a damn about each other. And that's just a residue of slavery. Y'all can call it what you want to, but I know what it is. Okay? We were a communal people. We cared about one another. There's only one group that don't care about no, really, we don't have no friends. So let me just say that right now. Okay? We don't have any friends. So if we don't stick by one another, and I'm talking about the masses of us. The masses of us are poor. And then they come and pluck these Negroes out of our community because they can play ball good or they can entertain you good. And they take that as an acceptable piece for all of us having freedom. Well, as long as you got LeBron James, as long as you got a Beyonce and they billionaires, the rest of y'all, look at them and live vicariously through them. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right. And I don't think it should be acceptable for somebody to have that much wealth and the rest of the people don't have any at all. So yes, I do have a problem with the billionaire class. I certainly do. There's no room for them, because they've never addressed the trauma of slavery. And so now you got black people that will sell their own mother to get a bag, but the trauma of slavery has never been addressed. All the things that could make us a more perfect union, they act like that's not on the agenda. And I know one thing, Dr. King always said, either we gonna learn to deal with each other or we gonna perish as fools. I think the way he said it was, either we gonna learn to live together. That don't mean I gotta like you. That don't mean you gotta like me. That just means we got to learn to live together. You can't be coming up here and beating all our kids up, and the police beating them down, and you continuing to fail them all in your school systems, and all these things that you're doing to the ADOS family. That has to stop, and it has to be replaced with something similar to justice. In fact, it has to be that. Okay? So, when I seen all our black stars showing up, people that we admire, and you feel like that's the most important thing to them, when you got over 300-something thousand black women who have been laid off their government jobs. I used to tell everybody, go bum rush the government. So when I was coming up, we had a lot of black people had fire department jobs, police jobs. We worked for the county and for the city. These are all government jobs. We were guaranteed benefits. We were guaranteed a certain amount of days off. We were guaranteed vacation. And so what happens, the biggest employer of government jobs had become, the biggest employer of government jobs, the people that benefited a lot were black people. There was a lot of people that bum rushed the government, because at first we didn't have none of those. We couldn't get in them places, in them spaces. So they trying to get it back to that again. You can't get no government job, or you can't get no benefits. See, they start calling it DEI, and they removed us from it and put all these incompetent, ignorant, dumb, I hate to say it, but white people who never had to be challenged about nothing. They just walk into the role and it's theirs. How many of y'all worked a job and y'all was smarter than your damn boss? Because they go get their friends and hire them before they'll hire me, and I done been through the whole chain of the company. That's the kind of games they play. That shit has got to stop. They got to have 70% of the jobs. They got to teach our children 70%. And see, what's happening is, as black people, we starting to check out, and we can't afford to do that. We cannot afford to do that. Voting, yes, it is transactional. But if you looked at the majority of our people, hell, I wouldn't be surprised if they vote against us. All them people at that Met Gala were Trump supporters, pretty much. Because if they wasn't, they wouldn't have been there. Those were your elites who don't give a damn about nothing and nobody but money. And it angers me when I see somebody like Serena Williams, who come out the heart of South Central. That's what you call the mud. And now she's showing her ass up there. It's taking pictures. I've seen other pictures with her with Donald Trump. That's her boy. I ain't even gonna talk about the other stuff. So as you can see, we have a whole class of black people that are unrelatable, that don't want to relate to you. They know what it's like to be poor, though. Jay-Z know what it's like to live in a project. Okay? These weren't middle class people. They were still the working poor. And now they have betrayed everybody in their community by showing up at these elite spots. When you got a sponsor like Jeff Bezos, who got his workers dropping dead, and they put a piece of cover on them and keep going. I was at Potawatomi Bingo one time, and that's what they did. A person fell out dead. I was like, damn. You know, I ain't hardly went back then since. I didn't go back since. And that was back in the day. But I'm saying the person fell out dead, and they just covered it up. N35. And you're like, this fucking person is dead. Because that's the elitist money mentality. And I don't ever want to have that. Because there's a scripture that says, Lord, please don't make me so rich that I forget where I come from, or what I forget what it feels like to be hungry. You know, and I lose sight of people that were like in that condition. And don't make me so poor that I have to steal. See, those are truth postulates that don't go away. They truth. So when I saw that Met Gala, I was glad in a way that Blue Ivy showed out like that. Because you know you're not supposed to wear glasses. Is she a teenager? She did not give a fuck. And she embarrassed both her parents, if you ask me. And again, they said, don't y'all bring y'all asses back no more. Allegedly. What y'all think about it? What do y'all think about that? Because that tore me up. I said they should have known better than to bring that teenager anyway. You know how teenagers are. And if you don't, go ask somebody that got something. You be glad when they grow. You be like, oh my God. Because they going to drive you. They gonna push it to the limit. Oh yeah. Anyway, I want to know what y'all think about Blue Ivy and the Met Gala and all that shit. And leave your comment below. Okay, if you like what you hear, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next video.